Let's talk about how I dated a Virgo man who introduced me to 3 major dating trends the hard way. Future faking, stonewalling, and the slow, brutal fade. Now, I didn't know these were trends at the time. I just knew something was terribly off. But now, TikTok has terms for this, and my book, Thought Snob, has the full story. In my book, I refer to my Virgo ex as the politician, okay? Now, astrologically, Virgo men are ruled by Mercury, so they're supposed to be master communicators. They're known for being intelligent, detail-oriented, loyal, humble, but unevolved Virgo, they flip that script. Emotionally avoidant, hypercritical, cold and calculating, and, performative charm with zero depth. Now, Virgo and Capricorn, I'm a Capricorn, are supposed to be one of astrology's power couples. 2 earth signs, structured, grounded, driven, loyal. And when it works, you get grounded power couples who grow together and stay together. But here's the truth. Compatibility on paper means nothing without emotional maturity. Now, that's where my Virgo, the politician, crashed the whole damn thing. This man was 27 years older than I. Older, wiser, charismatic. He had presence, charm. He had a look that turned heads, and I had daddy issues, unresolved ones. And I didn't know it at the time, but I was trying to heal something through him. And I oddly felt safe with someone who became a freaking werewolf during the full moon. At first, he seemed like everything I wanted until I realized he was really just a mirror. He didn't give me what I needed. He didn't give me anything. He showed me what I would never tolerate again. And he brought out the worst in me too. And oddly enough, he's the one who made me realize that, I do want a commitment. I do want marriage. And before him, I told myself I didn't. But the version of love he offered, like half-hearted, cold, performative, that made me want the real thing. And I'm sharing this with you in case you're in a similar situation. This might help you. Now let's talk about the trends he brought into my life, kind of like a hornet that's stuck in your bra, all right? Future faking. He started calling me his wife out of nowhere. Not girlfriend, not partner, wife. I mean, we had been in an on-off relationship for almost a decade when he started this shit. And it was a few months before I walked away from him for good. So he introduced me as his wife, but I didn't even talk to him every day. He didn't know me because he wouldn't give me emotional safety. I didn't know where he was half the time. We never went on trips, no overnight stays, none of that. And so calling me wife wasn't love. That was manipulation disguised as intimacy. The next one is stonewalling. If I said something that bruised his ego, even unintentionally, that man shut down. The silent treatment was his AK. I once made a comment he thought was about his pants. It wasn't. Truly, it wasn't. I was not making fun of his pants. And he never said a word to me about it. He just dropped me off that night and acted like everything was fine. And then ghosted me for 6 months. I'm not joking. 6 months of radio silence over something he never even clarified. I heard it through the grapevine that he thought I had made fun of his pants. Okay, that's stonewalling. A silent punishment, emotional control in disguise. Lastly, the slow fade, all right? The straw that broke the camel's back happened on New Year's Eve. Out of the blue, he traveled to New Orleans with his friend. He never traveled anywhere with me. And that's what did it. That New Year's Eve, I got shit can hammered and decided that was not what I wanted in a relationship. I didn't want to be alone on New Year's Eve. Now, I had been seeing less and less of him anyway, and later found out he had been seeing a repeat offender on the side, so, you know. But after the holiday, I called him up and I told him that I was leaving the relationship for good. And you want to know what he said? Swear to God, this is what he said. Verbatim. Baby doll, I got to get back to this card game. Not, I'm sorry, or, you know, let's talk. He said the guys were waiting on him and he needed to get back to his card game. And he said, I'll call you later. And I said, no, you won't. And he just laughed and hung up the phone. Now, there's a part of me that believes the Virgo and I had a soul contract. Like, we knew each other maybe in a past life or something and had to come back here to finish some unfinished business. Because that man cracked me wide open, you know, not in a good way, but in a necessary way. He showed me what I never wanted again. And because of him, I got clear on what, you know, I do want. And it wasn't even a breakup. It was like a rebirth, but I didn't look at it like that at the time. And that's why I'm telling you the story. If you're suffering from a breakup, think about it through this lens. Why is this happening? Is there a chance I can learn something from this? Did this breakup have to happen in order for me to meet the person I'm meant to be with? Now, if you have read my book, you know that was the case with me. Ending that relationship with the politician opened the door for God to bring me the person I was meant to be with. So if you've ever dated a Virgo man who left you confused and maybe emotionally exhausted and second-guessing your worth, you might have met the politician too. But you can learn more about that history in Thought Snob, the Modern Spiritual Playbook for a Better Life. I tell the full story of 4 unforgettable men: the politician, the Virgo, the criminal, the Libra, the redneck, the Scorpio, and the man who made up for all the bad ones, my husband, the Cancer. Now, their stories might make you laugh. They will make you laugh. Scream, possibly burn sage. But more importantly, they'll show you what self-worth looks like when you finally stop settling for half-hearted love. And you can grab your copy in TikTok Shop. I would be honored for you to read it. And this isn't just my story. It's the story of every woman who tangled up with someone that almost destroyed her.